one of my favorite shows to do. Oh,
This is your favorite show of all the shows that we've ever done together. This is the favorite show.
this is a favorite show. I have an excuse to drink and smoke and tell my tales and be as honest as I want to
Oh,
be, and
cheers,
we can
cheers.
cheers, buddy. Oh my God, this is the best.
So,
Mm.
for all of our viewers that are checking in for the first time, we are really, really proud to bring you Yerbabuena. So, what does Yerbabuena mean?
The good weed,
weed.
That's right. Yerbabuena, good for everything, including me. And this show is dedicated to telling our tales, telling what's our weed tales, right?
Okay. So how old were you, and where? Tell me about the first time you got high.
If people don't know who we are, let's introduce ourselves. I want to say I'm Richard Villa. I'm Richard Villa and Igor, of course. But then this is Igor, because this is our new show. Some people haven't seen our other shows here on the channel, but this is our new show. Let's start it off. One of the tales that I can tell you is, in California, guys, we can smoke weed as much as we want. Actually, I had to stop one of the interviews because I went outside and got my delivery of weed next to my pizza. So that's awesome.
You can get weed delivered
and pizza
to your house with pizza.
Yeah, with pizza. Yes, you can get pizza and weed delivered together.
I think you're going to start pissing people off around the globe that this is actually. You can actually order pizza and weed together. Is it weed pizza? Is the weed in the pizza?
They have a store here where you order, and there's a dispensary next door. So the pizza joint hooked up with the dispensary joint. So it's as easy as using one delivery guy.
That's amazing.
So instead of each of them have their own business. The delivery guy just walks over. It's his job to go get the pizza and put it in his car and take it to you. The pizza joint will call in and say, "Can you tell the delivery guy to do me a favor?" So the delivery guy's hanging out waiting for the orders. So when he gets there, but don't forget, go next door and get an eighth of this. Oh, okay. So they've working together. So my pizza arrives at the same time that my marijuana arrives. That is so fucking convenient. I don't give a fuck who you are. That is the best. And they add drinks. So the marijuana dispensary will tell you, do you want a pre-roll? Meaning, do you want free weed, or we can get you a 2-liter bottle of Coke that goes with your pizza? That is a special they're having right now.
I love it.
Do you understand how beautiful California could be? This is the reason it's so expensive to live here. But back to my weed story, Igor. My weed story is this. So I'm doing a show. I'm married. I have a beautiful little girl. And I'm doing a winery in Fresno, California. This is out in the wine country. Yes.
Wait, hold on. A winery in Fresno.
That's like saying Chuck E. Cheese is fine dining.
Oh my God. Okay.
But nevertheless, they paid for the comedian to show up and perform. And then they gave me a box of just 6 bottles of their different best wine. And I was like, okay, let's do this. So afterwards, they're like, hey, come with us. We're going to go to a nightclub. And I'm like, I got to drive back. I want to go back home. But all right, can you take me home as soon as we're done? Yeah. We get in the car and says, do you smoke? I was like, sure, let's smoke. So they start smoking. And I start smoking with them. With the people that hosted the event, the party, the people that paid me, basically. And as we're smoking, I'm smoking with them. And I smoke a lot. So when I start smoking, I start feeling different. By the time we get to the club, they laced it with something. I've never smoked weed like that. I don't know if they put cocaine in it, or I don't know if they put crack cocaine in it, but that's what it felt like they put crack cocaine in it, because they were okay with it, and I'm freaking the fuck out. Like, they were fine, and I'm sweating up a storm, dude. Like, I fucking just snorted an 8-ball, and I'm fiending, dude. It was just like, what the fuck is this? I was not expecting it, and it just took me for a loop, and now they're partying there with me, and the guy tells me, buy me a beer. And I take out my wad of cash of everything he paid me. And he sees me that I'm fucking loopy as fuck. He says, "Here, let me help you." No, I got it. And I got the money out, put the rest in my pocket. As I walk out to call an Uber, and I'm so messed up, I don't even know how to get an Uber. A guy comes up to me. He's like, "Oh my God, we saw you at the show. You're amazing." He gives me a big hug. "My wife loves you. You were so funny." And I grabbed him from the shoulder and I said, "Please, can you help me? Can you take me to my hotel? I need you right now to be a big fan and take me to the hotel." And one of my fans had to drive me from the club to a hotel because they had laced that weed with some bullshit, dude. I don't know what the fuck was in it, Igor. And I remember I didn't pray to God I would never smoke. I just said I would never smoke with people I don't know. Because I don't know what the fuck they put in that weed. So that's why when you tell me you like spliffs, you like fucking half tobacco, half weed, that's disgusting. See, don't you ever disrespect weed the way it's supposed to be. You listen, that's Igor. The only way I let the people fucking comment. Let them comment. Let them comment. What do you prefer? Tobacco with weed or pure weed? Like a fucking gentleman. Let them comment. I don't think anybody's watching actually.
No, we got people from the UK watching. We got some people from LA watching. We have a link right here. If you want to come and share your weed stories, just click on the link. And yeah, we'll welcome you to the show. And you can tell us about, when you got high. I am very experienced in weed. You know this. I don't know, okay. And this
I know. I didn't know this.
So my family's been in the weed business for a while. And I remember when my mom, when it was the first time that they allowed weed in Denver, and she calls me up and she's like, "Igor, don't get mad. I'm going to be a drugs dealer."
Your mom said this?
And I'm like, "What?" And she goes, "Don't worry. It's going to be legal this time." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" She's like, "I'm opening up the pot dispensary."
Your mom?
Yeah. And so she opened up the most successful pot dispensary in Denver. She made it super high class with paintings, samovars, espresso, art books, and everyone wants to get high with my mom because she's the badass bitch. And so there was lines around the corner. People would wait an hour and a half, 2 hours to get in and get high with my mom. It was crazy. And she was so good that everybody nicknamed her Queen 3.5 grams.
Wow, that is so cool.
She was so proud of herself. She was like, "Igor, I can eyeball a bag of sour diesel 3 feet away. Every time somebody wants to eat, exactly 3.5 grams. She can literally, with just the chopsticks, just reach in, boom, 3.5 grams. 3.5 grams. She's a pro. And this is when it got crazy, though. This is when it really got crazy. So I call her, check in, and she's like, again, "Igor, don't get mad." I'm like, "Oh no, what are you doing?" "I'm fucking the pot grower."
Wow.
And I was like, "Mom, what?" She's like, "Yes. Check this out. He fronts me weed at the beginning of the month, and then I pay him for the weed we sell at the end of the month. I call it pot for pussy program." I mean, there's no pot for penis program. There's no
I wish there was.
Yeah, there's no Canada.
Can you imagine?
There's no like sack for a sack. Like I can't, like, being a girl has its benefits. Like it has its benefits.
Yes.
But my mom, whenever she would bake us the best pot cookies, she would bring home all kinds of weed for us to sample. She was amazing. Like so I've been in the weed biz for a while now, for quite a while.
Nice.
Yeah, Mom, it got crazy because like this is my only bad. Like weed used to be cool. It used to be cool when you had to sneak around and like get it from some guy, and there's like a.
Really? I don't think it used to be cool. I think I like this idea. See, I smoke weed when it wasn't legal, and I smoke weed when it is legal. when it wasn't legal, you go to your drug dealer, and then you have to sit down and listen to his ass. You know what I mean? Like, motherfucker just gave me my weed, and you couldn't be a dick because then you have to find another connect, and you're like, fuck. And then they don't trust you. And who do you know? Who told you? And then you finally build the fucking friendship, and now they're fucking trusting you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now I go, listen, motherfucker, there's 14 other stores outside I can go. Hell, there's an app that tells me there's better stores than you. You know what I mean? I want my weed with a smile, motherfucker. And that's the American way.
I mean, it's gotten to the point where, like, literally, I came home and my mom was smoking with my principal.
Oh, wow.
I'm like, really? Like, not like, what has happened? Weed used to be cool. Now my mom is smoking weed with my principal from school.
Listen, you need to get into heroin. That's your problem. That's your problem. You need to start into heroin. Now those people are cool. They don't give a fuck about shit, including life. They said, fuck life.
So, how old do you need to be to smoke weed?
I think 21.
When is it too young?
21. Too young. 22, too young. 24, you need it. By 24, you realize you're not 21. And you go, fuck, life's not going to get any better. Fuck it, that was it. I hit the pop 21.
No, I mean, what about college? You should be able to smoke weed in college.
Go as your experiment. But
that's 18, 19, 20, you know, like the later teens.
No, because of the way that your brain develops. If you wait till your brain is fully developed, which some people take longer than others, but mostly 24 to 25, your brain is fully developed. You don't want to alter any of that shit. You know what I mean? You don't want your kids coming out with autism or shit like that. Just fucking wait. You know, drink and smoke cigarettes like everybody else, asshole. And then and then fucking poison your brain. But at 24, I'm not a hypocrite. My daughter's 5 years old. She's going to be 6. One day she's going to be 16, 15. I can't tell her you can't smoke weed. But what I can tell her is, if you wait, I would be proud of you because you waited enough for your brain to fully develop. And we can smoke weed together at 24. And I think that'd be a nice thing to wait for. Like, me and you have that. Let's me and you smoke our first joint together at 24.
What else? Hey, Colin.
What you doing with your
going there?
Oh, shit. What else were you doing with her principal, bro? What else was he doing with your principal?
Well, my mom has a thing for the African American guys. I just got to say, she likes
the cock.
she likes the Chocolate Brothers. She's all about it. So I'm just going to leave it at that. She was having herself a hot fudge sundae.
Oh my God, bro. Are you just like your mom? Are you, Igor, are you that kind of guy that goes, oh, that's just a small dick. I can't deal with that. I got to leave it. or are you the guy that goes, nah, it's cool. Fuck it. If you can make it work.
This is the thing. Okay. Some dick is so big. Like,
yes.
I mean, it's literally like
Corona big.
It's Corona dick. Like there's
no.
Where
that's regular.
I mean, seriously, I looked at and I was like, this is the thing. People with a big dick, they need to let you know. Big dick needs preparation. You can't just, it needs a permit. There needs to be plans. There is like, I need to know. And it can't just like, it's like building a bridge. You can't just do it. Like, nah, it needs some planning. I need like cones, a vest.
Now, let me ask you this. Have you ever seen a dick that you said, whoa, no, we're going to leave Lugu, bro. We can't just fuck in the car with that one. Like, you don't witness shit like that.
I had to walk. My friend Quincy had a cute, he literally, he could just go like this and just suck his own dick. It was that big.
Oh my God.
It was that big. And I was like, dude, get away from me. Like, I can't. You're going to like, just go. Just get, he's like, but no. I'm like, no. F that. That's not happening. But literally the first black guy I was ever with, and then I used to live in DC, so Chocolate City, baby. It literally, it was this big. It was a thumb up.
Really?
And I was like, damn.
That was...
I was like, oh, you're black and your thumbs up. I'm like, oh, man. Ouch. Ouch.
Wow. Do you still talk to this guy?
We're on Facebook. Oh, shit.
What's up, thumbs up? What's up, thumbs up? What's up, thumbs up? So when you see a guy with a small dick, what's up, thumbs up?
Man. And you used to get high all the time. Oh my God. When was the first time you got high?
Well, we talked about that on the other show. I was 16 years old.
How old were you?
With my buddy Iggy. I was 16. I was 16 when I first got high. And I remember my boy Iggy, who were still friends. What's up, Iggy? He had bunk beds. And I told him, come sleep with me. He's like, why? Do we have bunk beds? I'm scared, man, because I don't want your mom to smell, like your aunt to smell the smoke. Bro, we're smoking inside the house. You don't think somebody's going to smell weed inside the house? We're that naive. But we thought if we covered ourselves with a blanket on the bottom bunk, nobody would smell it. Bro, she came in with a broom. She started beating the shit out of us and blaming me that I brought the weed. I was like, he gave me the weed, man. What the fuck? I'm throwing him under the bus. But good thing I told him to come sleep with me on the top bunk because he was in front of me. So when she threw the fucking broom, it only hit him and I kept blocking my stomach.
Oh, man.
You know how fucked that is? You're so paranoid as a kid. I'm 16, high as fuck, going, is that your mom? Wait, is that your mom? Wait, shh. I think that's your mom. I think she smells it. And then she walks in, bro. That fucking ruins your eyes so quick.
Oh, man. That's one thing I hate about weed is that I cannot hide the fact that I'm high because my eyes drop. I'm sitting I cannot. My mom knows, and she fucks with me. She totally fucks with me.
Igor, you know what the secret is to getting a job and maintaining yourself high at the job? Go to the interview high.
Oh, yeah.
And then they go, wow, that guy looks sleepy. No, he's really smart. It's just that's the way his eyes are. So then you go to the first day at work, go there high. And they're like, oh, shit, he's high. Now, the problem is if you show up not being high, they're going to be like, oh, he's coked out. He's coked out. Look at his eyes. They're fully open. So don't ever go to work not high so you look normal.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. That's how I took my DMV picture. The DMV is the Department of Motor Vehicles. So you have your California ID, your driver's license, basically permission to drive in California. And I went in there high so my eyes can look really small like this. So when the cop stops me, he goes, yep, that's you. Are you mixed? Yep, I'm mixed. I'm Filipino, man. I'm Filipino-Mexican.
Oh, my God. How old was I? I was 14 when I first got high. And
With who?
I got high the first time was actually by myself. So I got some weed from a friend and I got high in my garage by myself. And I had to make a steamroller out of a toilet paper roll. Have you ever done that before?
No, what is this? Oh, yeah, though.
So yeah, you have the toilet paper roll and you cut out a square and then you put some foil and then you poke little holes in it and you throw the weed, you hold it like this and I got so crazy high. And I remember going upstairs and listening to music for the first time. And I could hear every instrument, every single sound. And I just sat there with my ear to the speaker. It was insane. It was insane.
Yes.
And oh no, I shouldn't share that story. That's a little too much.
What happened? What?
Then I'm gonna say this. Then I humped the bed. It got a little excited. Like for me, weed is a little bit of an aphrodisiac, and I was like, "What's going on?" And I was like, "Why does my pillow feel so good?" Next thing I know, I'm just humping the bed, and I've never done that before in my life. So I'm like listening to music, and next thing you know, I'm like terrorizing my pillow. That's what weed did to me. That's what weed did.
Okay. So let me ask you now, what does weed do to you?
So it depends on the kind of weed. So if I want to clean the house, I get a really strong sativa. And then I will go to town on the toilet and clean and do laundry and paint. The painting is great. So I'll paint and do that. Like I love to get sativa high and do menial chores, gardening, like that kind of thing. That's my jam. That's my jam. And then for late nights, I'll do an indica when it's like I'm just vegging out and I'm just like, yeah, okay. But I can't do weed in public. I cannot do weed in public. I get super paranoid. I don't like meeting people when I'm high. I don't want to talk to strangers. Like I can't do public weed consumption.
For me, it's been different. For weed, smoking weed has made me more social. Because now I can go out. Yeah, now I don't care. You want to talk to me about whatever the fuck you want to talk to me? Go talk. And he says, "What do you think?" Fuck, I don't know. And that's it. And they walk away. That's it. That's the beauty of it. I don't get mad. I don't get upset. It's the best thing that's ever happened to my relationship with my wife, man. Like I used to drink a bottle of Jack Daniels a night. For me, weed saved my life because I smoked at 16, then I never smoked again for years. I started smoking again at 37. And at 37 years old, when I started smoking again was because I was getting out of control with the alcohol. And I just dropped the alcohol. I stopped drinking and I started smoking weed and I put alcohol to the side and I said, I don't need this anymore. And weed helped me recover from that. And dude, I mean, really, when you're high, you never get aggressive. You're not angry. You're not pissed. You eat whatever the fuck your wife makes you. You know what I mean? For me, it was like, this is the best shit ever. She was arguing, and I'm like, yeah, don't scream. There's no need for screaming. I mean, if your husband's the one telling you there's no need for screaming, there's the best relationship you can have, women. You're the one screaming.
Is weed an aphrodisiac for you?
Yes, very much.
Or are you like, don't touch me? By the way,
no, very lovable. Go ahead.
We have a link. I'm going to drop it into my Facebook. So if people want to come and share their weed stories, so tell me about your aphrodisiac. Like, what's it like for you?
So now she smokes with me.
Wait,
so
what?
now Rosie smokes with me now. So my wife smokes with me now because she sees, whoa, you're doing great. So now we both smoke and we set up our little nights, you know, we smoke, we little drinking, and then bam. And the experience is just a lot more better because what happens is you put down your barriers. You're more free to do whatever you want to do. And
how do you guys smoke?
You just have fun. Usually we'll smoke a blunt or we'll smoke a joint. That's really what we do. Just because we have a baby here, so we have to put our stuff away. Not a baby, we have a little girl, so we put our stuff away. We're that responsible smokers, you know what I mean? We lock our shit away and we clean everything, and so the bong, you know, she didn't want all the residue and all that stuff that she couldn't get into, so she's like, that's really difficult to clean.
And you don't like splits?
Huh? I don't like splits, man. I think once you put tobacco into weed, you ruined it.
See, I
disgusting.
No, I completely disagree.
Oh my God, no.
I'm posting this right now. So I got into spliffs when I lived in Paris. And so when I was in Paris, there's no flour. It's all hash. So you have to. The problem is when you smoke it, it just gives you the shits. Like you just get like instantly, you're like, it's like Chipotle. You're just like running for the bathroom. Like it's not. But after doing
it.
Yeah, it's
wait. Hash with tobacco just gets you.
Yeah, you can't like. Oh man, but oh my God, this just reminded me. So I finished my studies the semester in Paris, and we go to Amsterdam. It's my first time in Amsterdam, and there I just rolled fatties with just weed. But I'd get so high. Have you ever been to Amsterdam? So the city is shaped like a spider web in the center, and then it looks just like a spider web.
Wow.
And the streets are all made with consonants. It's like 20 JKLMPQRSTKADLVE. It's like and I got so high, I couldn't remember the street with the thing. And I'm looking at the map, and this is before GPS, and I'm trying to match the name of the street with the thing. And I've never been so lost in my life. The only way I could find my way home was like, okay, I'm next to this sex shop with the giant inflatable dick chair, and it's next to the hooker with the to take a left at the hooker, and then a right at the big dick chair, and then I'm gonna get to the Flying Pig hostel. Like it was tough. It was tough.
Where the fuck were your friends? Where were your friends?
They were as lost as I was. I was the leader. They were looking at me like,
wow.
Oh man. Oh man.
Is anybody smoking with us right now?
I don't know.
Is anybody putting that motherfucker up?
I'm sorry. I don't want to bring us down, but I want to, like, what's going on right now in the country, and everybody's looking at us in the UK that we are gone insane.
Oh, with the riots.
Floyd, I'm saying his name. His name is George Floyd, and this is just it's now is the time to smoke and chill out. If these bitches were getting high, they wouldn't be setting shit on. Well, actually, maybe you would set shit on fire, but you would.
Listen. Everybody knows that those officers killed that man. Politicians admitted it. Other police officers across the country admitted it. The world admitted it and said, you are right. Those officers killed that man. Now you have our ear. What do you have to say? How can we change this? You don't then go burn your own city. Do you understand? You had an opportunity. You had the world's ear to do something and say something important. Grab your community leaders and tell them this is the cut us off. Oh, this is the message we want you guys to deliver, is that this is not okay. But don't go burn your own city. I was here for the LA riots. That was the worst mistake they have done, man. My next door neighbor was a liquor store. They burned it. My house almost went up on fire, but the entire community got together, man, and they created a chain of buckets, and they helped us put out the fire that somebody else from another community came in and burned, because that liquor store, Mr. Kim, thank you, Mr. Kim, who rebuilt, used to give us credit. See, we didn't make a lot of money. So my dad would say, we need a gallon of milk. He's like, well, I don't have no money until Friday. We would go to Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim, can you write this up? And he would write it up. We didn't even have papers to get a credit card. Who the fuck was going to give us a gallon of milk? It was like that type of fucking shit. So now when you burn down your city, oh my God, for me, it's sickening, because those people had nothing to do with what happened. They're just victims of the circumstances.
Yeah, it's going to be so much harder to rebuild, you know, and that's number one. And then I was talking to a lot of my friends from DC, and if you want people to listen, you know, it's hard. It's hard because I understand the rage. I understand the rage. I was crying. I was pissed. I'm angry. You know, it's the one thing that I have to say to everybody who's watching from the UK. The only time my partner, who's Black, when we travel, he loves going to London because he is not treated differently. He tells me all the time, whenever we go to the UK, he just feels like a regular person. People don't look at him as he's Black. They just see him as a person. People don't clutch their purses. They don't we love traveling to the UK because he just feels like a regular person, and it's awesome. So you guys in the UK and in London,
I agree with yeah, but we understand our situation, meaning Watts riots, LA riots, Now these riots, do you understand? You start tagging that with black community, that people will think that that's how we're going to react. That's the shameful way to people to think that that's how the black community is going to react. That's not how they're going to react. What you need is to make changes so they don't not get upset. It shouldn't come to rioting. That's what I'm saying, is that shouldn't be the solution for every black issue we have in America. Oh, now we're going to riot. No, that's not what you do. Is when situations like what happened with these officers and everybody admitted fault, then you step in and say, okay, then let's make a change. But don't connect the riot to it. You know what I mean? Because these store owners had nothing to do with it. Now, that old lady that used to get her pharmacy from the Target down the street that she can walk to is going to have to inconvenience her niece or uncle or somebody, or get somehow, or go without their medication. Because that local store where they used to get shopping and groceries are now out of business. So that's how you're hurting your community.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So I get it. I'm sorry, man. We should get high more and talk more shit.
I remember when I would get high, when I first started getting high, I would just get in these crazy fights with myself.
Why?
I would hear the voices in my head, and I would sit there and I would just start arguing with all the different voices. And next thing, I'm like having these conversations with myself. Like, it's like I started getting high by myself. Like, that was how I started. That was me. So like I would sit there and just, I would have like full on debates with myself.
That's why you have to take your dog with you. I never get high by myself, bro. I always take Beanie with me, because when I start talking, I'll start talking to him, and I have full on conversations, and I love him because he never interrupts me. He just sits there and stares at me. You get it, right? And he just nods at me. All right, fuck it.
Where's the craziest place you've ever gotten high?
Creepiest place.
Or craziest. Yeah. What is the strangest place you've ever been high?
Oh my God. I'll tell you where. I was in McAllen, Texas, doing a comedy show. And this comedian had booked me for the show. And afterwards, they say, let's go to my house. And then from his house, you're drinking and you're smoking at the same time and everything's going on. And hey, we're going to go to this spot. And then you get in the car and you just roll. And then you just roll. And then before you know it, I found myself in the fucking scene of fucking, what was that, Training Day? Remember that?
No.
Remember?
No.
I find myself, I don't know how the night progressed. It was one of those hangover nights where the smoking and the drinking got to me, and I started getting blur spots and I started blacking out in certain spots. I can't tell you where the whole night went, but eventually I ended up in this house full of cholos in McAllen, Texas. And I'm thinking, where the fuck is the boy that brought me? And then there's a cholo next to me. So, homie, you want to hit it? I'm like, yeah, bro. We're all chilling. I'm like, now I'm smoking with a bunch of cholos that I have no idea how the fuck I got there. And they're all cool with me. And then the guy that was the leader of the gang came and gave me a big hug. I don't know why. And then he said, hey, you want to bump? I was like, all right, fuck it. All right. So he hung out with me. He's like, tell me more about your comedy. I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even know he was at the show. I don't know how I ended up here. I'm freaking out, and I think, well, fuck it. He's the leader, and he likes me. I'm going to tell him all about my comedy now that I'm all coked out. And I told him all about my comedy. Then
man. So
he tells me, don't worry. I know where you're staying. He drives me to where I'm staying. And then he gets a bar. He says, I'm going to give you half a bar, man, so you can sleep okay. I don't know why I trusted him. His voice, something about him. I just put some fucking pill that he called the bar in my mouth, and I just drank it. Before I got to my bed, I was knocked out. I mean, that motherfucker treated me like a prince, and I was the most scared. Like, you understand? Like, I was best friends with him as long as he protected me from all of them.
That was
That
actually
wasn't weird.
because I'm gay. I've been teased a lot, and everybody calls me, the sissy boy and all this kind of stuff. The only way I could get respect was smoking weed. When we would get in, when we would get and start to smoke together with my cousins in Brighton Beach, I have a lot of mafia in my family, and so they always rag on me because I'm like the sissy boy. But then when we smoke, and I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I would just blow just rings around the whole room, and they would just call me the dragon. So after that, they were like, "Oh, he's the gay dragon." He's the gay dragon. But that's how I get respect. I'm like, that's the only way I can get respect is smoking weed.
Where's the weirdest place you've gotten high or drunk or just really fucked up?
I ate a bunch of acid in college at the water park.
Wow.
I ate a strip of acid.
Why? Just to fuck
it. Those were the days. And so I was with my girl because I was straight back then. And we eat a 5 strip of acid, and we're waiting in line. We get this giant raft, and then you get on the little slide, and it was the journey to the center of the earth. And we go up and down and around in the diner, and I couldn't tell by the time we got what was reality, what was the acid, what was the Tyrannosaurus is coming in, things are flying. And the thing, I was sick. Oh my God. We get out, we're in the pool. I just grab onto the side of the pool like this. And in my mind, I was like, I'm a barnacle. I'm a barnacle. I'm a barnacle. And I was like, this is why the barnacle's at the bottom of the food chain. This life sucks. And I just sat there for hours in the pool thinking I was a barnacle. And I'm just stuck there. And then finally I get out and we go on another slide and it's my turn to go. And I start tripping out on the puddle. And I'm seeing this whole fantasy land play out. And I'm like, oh my God. And this little girl's like, sir, are you going to go? Sir, are you going to go? It was one of the amazing days of my life until I had to go home and I had to drive the car and I'm still tripping balls.
How the fuck do you drive a car tripping that bad? Has anybody that's listening, are they willing to talk about that shit, or just people in the UK don't have the balls to talk about it?
Oh my God, everything was like you grab the steering wheel and it just like melts in your hand, not in your mouth. It was so terrifying to get in the melting of the thing. The cars are melting, everything's melting. I was stupid and young. I was 17. What was it, 17, 18 years old? I was so stupid. I would never do that now. But
yeah.
How would I'm tripping balls. I can't even see things or trails.
How did you get home? Did you get home?
Very slowly. I just drove so fucking slowly. Wow. My other favorite time of eating acid, I went to go see The Matrix.
On acid?
Yeah. I ate a bunch of acid, and I remember I'm sitting there with my girlfriend, and we're looking there, and I was like, oh my God, this is the most amazing movie ever. Whoa. And she's like, Igor, that's just the acid. The movie hasn't started yet. And I'm like, fuck. Then we watch the movie, and I don't know if you've ever eaten acid before, but you know how when they shoot the bullets at you, and they're like, and they move, and you have the trails? And like how the bullet rips across the through. That is exactly what you see when you're tripping acid. So we leave the movie and the Matrix was all around us. You could just see the bullets and the trails, and I was like, holy shit. It was intense. It was intense.
Nice. I wonder in the UK, man, because really if this is being watched in the UK, none of these people that are watching have ever tripped on shit. They have to have stories.
There's a lot of mushrooms in the UK because mushrooms grow on cow patties. So there's hallucinogenic mushrooms that grow after the rain on cow patties. Did you know that? Yeah. So the trippy mushrooms grow on cow shit, and after the rains, they pop up, and you just go into the fields and you can pick them, and you just make tea out of it, or you eat it.
Should I just get a cow if I want my own
There
mushrooms
you
in the
go.
backyard? Right? Because I'm growing my own weed right now.
How's that going?
All fucking beautiful. They're budding up. I'll post some pictures up for some of the fans next time we do this show. I'll do a little video. We'll put it up. I'm basically growing my own stash. So I got my favorite Gorilla Glue. And what I started doing is cultivating it. I have it in my backyard. So I do it in a rotation so I can get maybe 2 or 3 pounds per plant. And then it'll last me for the next plant and for the next plant. So I'll never have to buy weed again. I
Do
just
you
have
get,
my own.
do you get mites?
I do, but you take care of them. There's some
The
medications.
mites is the hardest thing. When I was growing weed, it was just those, especially in California, the mites attack the plant, the little teeny white mites, and that was driving me. It was driving me crazy. It was driving me.
Where were the mites end up going?
They're on the stalks, and then they get out to the leaves, and they start to eat the whole plant, and then they get on the bud, and it's like the cancer that just grows all over the whole plant. And so that was really tough, is to keep the mites off the plant.
What I do is I keep them enclosed.
There you go. That's yeah.
You know what I mean? So I keep them enclosed. They don't have any mites, any of that shit. And then I drag them out to the sun, and I have enough space to drag them out to the sun, down to the shade, keep them enclosed, bring them back out.
Do you do hydroponics?
No, I use the natural sun.
No. Do you do the soil, or do you do the rock and water?
No, soil.
Okay.
Not hydroponics, no, soil. I don't know. I just like it more.
It's like growing your own food.
Yeah.
Put the love in it.
But I have the space, so I roll it out to the sun. I put it back in. I bring it back out, and I water it. I talk to it. I fucking tell it my problems.
What's your favorite strain of weed? What are you growing? What do you smoke? If people are here,
I like indicas. I like more mellow. I don't like, if I listen. I smoke when I'm gonna chill. So right now we're chilling, we're talking. I like to smoke a nice indica, relax. Any OGs, I like the nice OGs. Just keep me mellow because I'm already very hyper. So if I smoke, I chill out. I can stay focused a lot more.
I think, let's say, for my sativas, Snow Cap is probably by far my favorite. It's like a cup of coffee. That for me is the everything.
Snow Cap?
Snow Cap. It's the best day weed for like doing stuff during the day. It's the best day.
Blue cheese.
Oh, okay.
Blue cheese is a one that I've never seen anymore. These strands come and go. But blue cheese was a delicious plant that made me fall in love with weed and look at it in a different way. But I've never seen blue cheese. But anything cheesy, I love cheesy weed. If anybody's a true smoker knows what a cheesy smell looks like, it's just a punching smell. I love that.
I haven't had a nice. There's my guy, Mr. Pasay. I haven't had a nice weed because I'm right now part time in Mexico, so I'm.
How do you get your weed?
Edibles.
That's it?
Edibles. That's it.
You're not smoking?
No, all of this is just the guests left these to come stay here. So I have all these little pipes and things. But no, I'm really paranoid about bringing it here. Like if I do, it has to be. I'm just paranoid.
Really?
Yeah, but I love chocolates. I love gummies. Like one time I licked the butt of a little gummy. I woke up 3 days later. I just lost it. I went to another world.
And that's a shit when it comes to edibles. They said it processed through your body differently. You get a more euphoric high.
Have you done it? Do you do that?
Yeah, I've done edibles, but I don't like it because I don't know when it's gonna hit me.
That's the problem.
I just have an edible.
Because there's times where you eat it, nothing happens. There's times where you eat it, and the whole world has shifted, and you can't. You got to try. Weed lube.
Weed lube?
Yeah, it makes sex amazing. Wait. It is insane. It is insane. I have weed bubble bath. I have weed lotion. I have weed lube. I have my edible. Like that's what I do down here because I can bring that to across the border. So I've got like all my like beauty weed products, and I put my the like sore spots. I'll rub the weed lotion.
But you can't. You don't have a weed connect there in Ensenada.
It's the stemmiest, seediest. It's the nastiest. It's not marijuana. It is weed. And I have to spend half the time just picking out the seeds because they explode in your mouth if you smoke the stems it's awful. The weed here is disgusting. It's especially if you live in the.
So you can't wait to see me in June.
Yes.
Okay.
We
you cannot wait to see me.
Come down to Mexico. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be amazing. But yeah, I'm going to place my order.
Yes. Don't worry. It will be delivered. Oh wow. I'll probably bring some of my own grown to
So have you ever smuggled weed?
Yes, all the time. I smuggled weed all the time.
Back when it was illegal, what techniques would you use to smuggle weed?
The highlighter. Take off the back top of the highlighter. You can fit 2 joints in there. Your bottle of lotion. You dip you get your 2-3 joints, put them in a Ziploc bag, put them in the lotion, cover it up, mix it up. When they open it up, it looks like lotion.
Okay, so we've got lotion, highlighter, anything else?
Highlighters, where else? Shampoo bottles, depending on how much weed I wanted to travel with. So depending on how much weed I wanted to travel with is how many joints I would do. Sometimes I would put a check-in bag, but in the shampoo bottle, the Head and Shoulders bottle, were like 20, 30 joints. And I would mix up the shampoo bottle in there. So if they opened up the shampoo bottle, it'd be like, oh, it's shampoo bottle. It was like 20, 30 joints.
Wow. Did you ever get caught?
No, never.
And this is like when you would be flying on an airplane, right?
Yes, airplanes from state to state. Never got caught.
Wow.
And so now that it's legal, I don't give a shit now. I carry it in my pocket. I have a little case for it. I put it in my carry-on.
But it's not legal in every state.
No, but in LAX, for example, if they wanted to, they pull me over and say, hey, now I have a little carrying case where I put 6 joints. And I put it in my bag and they go through it and they don't say shit.
Oh my God, that's crazy. The first time I smuggled weed was from Colorado to DC because I was going to school in DC at the time. And you know that Build-A-Bear where you build?
Yeah.
So I did the Build-A-Bear and I shoved it full of weed in its butt. I put a 1/4 pound of weed in my bear's butt. And then I also put with the weed a bunch of coffee beans so it wouldn't stink. And this was back before 9/11. And so I have this big old bear and I gave it to my father to bring through the airport.
So you didn't smuggle it. Your dad smuggled weed through the airport, you piece of shit.
I was like, Dad, can you hold my bear for me? He's like, Igor, you're 20 years old. Why do you have this stupid bear?
Hey, Dad, we all need a bear.
Oh, and we made it across, and I got everybody high at school. I brought the dank weed from Colorado and got everybody high because I was a scholarship kid. You know, I wasn't able to pay for school on my parents' American Express black card. Yeah, I had to like hustle to keep making. Yeah.
So I smuggled a human being with my mom, not drugs. Yeah, I smuggled a friend.
Coyote? You were really a coyote?
Well, this is. I'll tell you the story. So my dad got a job when he got crossed over with the family. He got a house, and they told him, "Hey, man, if you're willing to take care of the coyote, the people that we smuggle into the U.S., like a holding house, then we will let you stay in that house." So my dad got to stay in that house as long as he would let the illegals stay in one of the rooms, which is our room, the kids' room. It was a 2-bedroom home. So my dad would bring illegals, and so when my dad would bring illegals, he would shove them into our room. My mom would make us go sleep with them. So one morning, I mean, we knew the routine. We were just kids. My brother was 6, I was 5, or he was 5, I was 4. And one morning, like every other kid, kids wake up at 6 in the morning. My dad had just brought a bunch of illegals at night. We don't know these people. There's like 15 of them in our bedroom. So when we're there, um, we're playing in the living room, and one of the guys says, "Hey, do you want to play with your toys with us?" And my older brother says, "Yes, what's your name?" "Oh, my name is this." And he starts a conversation with my older brother. And I'm there as a 4-year old just listening to this shit. And so finally, he convinces my brother to unlock the door. Now, the way this works is this: the family members in Mexico will pay for their family member to cross the border. Once you deliver their family member, you get the other half of the money. So if it was $1,000, you got $500 up front, then you get another $500 when you deliver my family member. Of course, now it's about 10 grand or about 20 grand to come into the
Really?
US. Yes. So you would pay about 10 grand up front.
10 grand to get a Mexican across the border?
No, 20 to get them across the border.
Who has that kind of money?
Somebody that really wants to get the fuck out of Mexico.
That's
So
insane.
back then it was cheaper. So I remember it was like $1,000, but it was $500, and he still owed $500 per guy. So that's 15 guys times 500. Okay, that's how much he was about to lose, because the guy tells my brother, "Hey, open the latch," and my brother grabs a broom and opens the latch, and all of them run out of the house. So we're just standing there with the door open. 15 guys just ran out of our fucking house. And we're like, okay, well, whatever. We're 5 years old, 4 years old. My dad wakes up, hears the ruckus, and goes bananas, bro. And we're kids. We don't understand why the fuck he's mad. And because we don't know this is going on. And he's losing his shit. You understand? He's dealing with people that will come back with a gun and think that he sold them off, and now he needs to fucking pay. So luckily he got a pass. My brother told him what happened, but that was it. They kicked us out of the house. So you're the fuck out. You're homeless, so we go back to Mexico.
Wow.
This is when I was 4. We go back to Mexico. We don't come back to the States till I was 10 years old, and it's another fucking story. But yeah, dude. We used to smuggle people. We used to hold. It was a holding house there.
Wow. I just hope that people who are watching appreciate how amazing America is. And I know that America is burning right now, and we definitely have things that we need to work on, definitely. But still, there's so much opportunity in our country. And just hearing this story of how much your parents sacrificed, how much you sacrificed to come to America, it really just resonates with me. And I just hope that people have gratitude for how amazing, especially California, our country is. And, how much I feel that sometimes people take it a little bit for granted that, and especially now with what's going on, people are very, anti-America or but there's still so many amazing opportunities. There's still so much good in our country.
Listen, let me ask you something. It's weird because I talk to my father-in-law now that he's quarantined here with me, and I get to talk to him and drink and smoke and chill. And he's really
smoke weed with you.
No, my father-in-law doesn't smoke weed, but he said that's funny. He's the one that's taking care of my plants, and he's 74 years old. And in Zacatecas, back in the day when he was a young kid, he said a lot of the farmers, this is what we grew, because it was sold to the US. But it wasn't glamorous. Like the drug dealers back then didn't wear jewelry, or we weren't drug dealers. We were just growing weed, and we would trim it up. And I know how to cultivate it and put it together when I was a kid. Because in the 50s and 40s, it wasn't that big of a deal. It was just weed. You understand? It was still illegal, but it wasn't that big of a deal for them to grow it, because they never smoked it. They looked at it as a product that the Americans bought. And that's really what he said. He says, we never consumed it. We never smoked weed. We always thought it was just for the fucking Americans to smoke.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
And so,
go ahead. No, go ahead. Sorry.
So it's weird. He says, so he looks at my plan and right away he goes, you want it to butt out? I'm like, yeah. Do you want to get to the biggest butts? Okay. We're going to have to trim it, but you're going to have to trust me. I said, all right. He goes, vroom, and he trimmed it all.
And you're like,
he left. I'll show you pictures later. It literally has butts. He says, the rest is the waste. The way he discussed the weed process, I was like, oh shit. He said, the way it happens is this: the more weeds, the more leaves your weed plant has, the more energy and nutrients it's giving it to shit that you're not gonna smoke. Cut the fuck out. Things that are hanging out, I know, you know what? You grab that, you make cookies with that, you make butter with that, you make whatever the fuck you want with that. You can put in alcohol, rub it alcohol, whatever. But the rest of the buds are gonna grow this fucking big because all the nutrients are gonna go there. I was like, oh shit. So he schooled me, dude. I was like, okay.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I was like, and I said, where did you learn this? He says, working for the cartel.
Oh man, you have such an interesting backstory. It's really impressive, especially what you've done with your life, with your career, how you made it in comedy, despite everything. And then it's impressive. So respect. You know,
thank you, buddy. But hey, man, it's you know what the secret is? You do what you love to do. That's it. We did. You look at us. We're here talking about weed, smoking, drinking.
You know that there's reverse smuggling now in Mexico.
What do you mean?
The weed in America, especially in California, is so good that they can't compete. So now there are waves of weed coming in from California because the Mexican weed can't compete with the legal weed. So it's so funny. Like if I was to buy weed here, it's actually double the price of what it would be in California to buy the same quality weed in Mexico. So if I wanted to get Maui Wowie or some sour diesel, some like good flour here, it's going to run me $75, $80 an eighth.
Wow.
And that same weed is $35, $30 in California.
Yeah.
Or you can get a sack of stemmy, seedy weed, you know, but you got to pick through it and it's brown and it's but it's so interesting for me because I've been coming back and forth between my life in California and Mexico and seeing how the change, and now all the drugs are coming into Mexico versus going out.
What a fucking mistake from Mexico's part. Mexico should embrace the industry. You already have the agriculture. You have the structure to build such a huge production of marijuana across the world.
What are we growing here where I live? Snapdragons and flowers. There's fields of flowers and tomatoes. If they turn that into weed, this could be like so many people could be lifted out of poverty.
Yes. Because you're talking about the drivers, the packers, the pickers, the growers, the agriculturists, the shippers, the
security that you would need around.
Yes, around all of that shit. Of course, the security around it. Look at that. So now, then the government says, I'm going to tax all of that. Okay, you can't keep that money. Remember, that's for the people. So we better see a change now. How is it that we generate this much? You're willing to take my taxes. Yes, you're paying me really good money to secure this weed, and you take it away my paycheck, but where's my new street?
Yep.
If you're taking it away from us.
The problem here in Mexico is that there's so many undocumented Mexicans. I know so many of my workers and so many people that are here at the property. They were born not in a hospital. They were born in the fields. They were born without any documentation, and they don't pay taxes. They get paid in cash, and there are millions of Mexican citizens that are undocumented Mexicans, and they don't pay any taxes because they are not in the system. And it just blows my mind. It blows my mind. And if we did have a system like that where we did start to do a massive agricultural weed.
So you're a person that knows how to grow weed. You would go, I would be an expert at that, but then you go, I don't have a birth certificate. You know what? I'm gonna go get one.
There you go.
Because my skills will lend for it. So now it's worth my while. Why? Because it's a $80,000 job, a year job in Mexico. My family would come out of poverty. We would be part of the community. We would donate to build a new street. Fuck it. We would donate to the school because we have that extra income.
Yeah.
And then we will hire the nannies, the chauffeurs, the intern return. You know what I mean? So why Mexico holds on to this weed shouldn't be legal bullshit really boggles my mind, man. You already have it. The cartels can just turn legal now.
That would be amazing if we could legalize, but maybe they're scared that from weed comes other things.
But you know what? Other things are not going to go away. Alcohol did not ruin America when they got rid of prohibition.
Do you think cocaine should be legalized?
You know what? I think yes. I think everything should be legalized and monitored, just like everything else. So for example, this is a thing. Once you give a person a decision and you see how bad their life goes, people will tend to stay away. Why don't we touch fire? Because it burns you.
Well,
you understand?
I mean, the opiate crisis in the States. That's legal heroin, and it's finally the rich people are now suffering and going down. You know, so it's a question for next week. We will have to tackle the legalization of secondary
drugs
and tertiary narcotics.
Yes. All right, guys.
An amazing weekend. It has been such a pleasure hanging out and just shooting the weed with you as always. It's been so look at that smile. You are so handsome right now. Look at you.
Hey, this is good life. The weed life, baby. The weed life.
I love it. So till next week, man. Cheers.
All right. Cheers. Bye-bye.